All right, back in house with Coach Miles Holcomb here at Southside, and Coach, you and I talked just a couple of days ago, actually on Friday, but we've moved your show to Monday because hopefully we'll be doing the show from Monday from here on. But huge game this week.
Absolutely.
It's one of those, you throw the records out the door, it don't matter. This is Atala versus Southside, the Battle of Highway 77, whatever you'd like to call it. But I grew up in this rivalry. You're from this area, this sort of speak. You know about this rivalry. Talk to us, Coach. First of all, about the rivalry itself.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you get a chance to play in a rivalry game, it's great. And I feel like we have a couple that we get a chance to play in. Over the last couple of years, I wouldn't say us and Gunners was a rivalry because we ain't found a way to win that one. But our kids look forward to playing them. And then Hoax Bluff kind of speaks for itself. And then this one, I think the game with Hoax Bluff is almost like a mutual respect game, and then this one is like almost like there's just a lot of like dislike between. There's respect, but at the same time, there's a lot of dislike between the two.
The community, communities and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just deep rooted.
It is, and that's something that I had to kind of, I guess, get used to a little bit. I mean, I was told when I got here, and this is 21, I guess, and they're like, we ain't going to that Walmart. You got to go to Atala, like that kind of stuff. And so when you get a chance to play in a game, like this, I grew up in Crossville, Geraldine, which is similar, and that, unfortunately that game don't even exist anymore. Yeah. But this game to me reminds me of that I grew up in.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because the Crossville, Geraldine from the early 2000s and 90s, that was a different
Battle of Skirham Creek.
Yeah, that was a whole different animal than what today is. I mean,
oh yeah, absolutely.
But this one, I grew up in Bradley Park, so I lived on 77. Went to Etowah, and then I watched this one develop some, upsets. Like sometimes Southside upset. I think it's 95, 97, Southside won. But I remember, like our guys just being like shattered.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Crushed. Yeah. And then as recently, y'all have just went back and forth, and it's been a war. But when you approach a game like this, you don't have to go in there and slam stuff and break the chalkboard and throw stuff around. The guys are ready to roll.
They should be. Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing we talked about is almost like a redemption deal for us. We felt like we didn't, and the data that suggested that kind of backed it up. We didn't play very hard versus Hoax Bluff. And that was our first chance to have a rivalry game this year. And then, we came back in here on Sunday and we just said, look, we put a great week together last week, just kind of working on ourselves. And then, if we want to be a playoff team, when you think back to last year, like this win was the springboard to help them get into the playoffs. And so our goal is, again, to find a way to play an 11th game. Well, winning this one, momentum-wise, would give our kids just a ton of momentum. And so, but it's not going to happen on Friday. Like, it's going to happen through the week, like the way we prepare, because that's still been the thing that we've lacked the most, is just, a competitive focus throughout the week. I think some people call it competitive stamina. When you can't, especially because we're so opposite in schematics, and so you can't do as much good on good. You got to do a little bit more scout look. Or when you're doing scout look, like you're not, it's sometimes it's not best on best. You got guys that's trying to read a card and they're trying to line up and they're trying to get that look, and occasionally the competitive fire can drop a little bit because I'm going against scouts right here. I'm not going good on good. And so you got to find a way to have some competitive stamina and push yourself through that and have the same type of explosiveness and energy as you do when you're going good on good. So that poses a little bit of a challenge when you're talking about an inexperienced team and a young team. But other than that, you can't if you got to get up for this one, you're in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Probably in the wrong sport.
That's right.
But, dude, we talked about the off week last week.
Mm-hmm.
How did it finish up? I know you said you're definitely focusing on Southside. It wasn't an off week. You were just not playing that week.
That's right. Yeah, it was really good. You know, we had a chance. We kind of wrapped it up on Friday. We watched tape. We didn't even, we didn't do anything on Etowah last week. Like, it was about us. Last week was about us and the things that we needed to correct from, the first couple games that we had played. And that's how we treated it. We tackled, we tried to break tackles, we blocked. We were live on special teams a couple times. Like, this stuff that we needed to clean up and be better at. Like, that's what we did with the week last week. And so I think it was good for us. I think we got what we wanted out of the week. I think we got a couple answers in some pretty key spots of, like, hey, maybe this is the guy that we need to go with, and had to move some guys around and shuffle some things up. And
I got some guys that was dinged up.
Got a couple
more
back.
healthy.
Yeah, they're not.
Or closer
to healthy. Yeah, closer to healthy for sure. And so we're still kind of trying to figure out who exactly we're going to have in a couple spots. But the guys just got to step up and go. At this point in time, like, you've played 4 games, and so nobody has the excuse of being young anymore because you had 4 varsity games. So nobody's young. Like, you got enough where, hey, I've been in it, I know what it looks like. I got to play.
Yeah.
And so it don't matter if you're a freshman or a senior.
Yeah, it's time to go.
That's right.
No doubt. Well, in a game like this, you're definitely going to need that. You're going to need some more daddies. This is fun. This is what high school football is all about. I'm actually going to be able to get to go over there to the game myself, so I'm looking forward to it. But talk about that a little bit, Coach. You got a lot of things going on, but you still, in rivalry games, sometimes you get guys that's too juiced up, may over pursue, may do some stuff they don't normally do, trying to do too much, trying to do what the guy next to him and him's doing at the same time. Talk about keeping them dialed in, and this is a rivalry game, but we gotta stay dialed in on what we need to do individually.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what the overall goal is for us. The overall goal is to figure out, like, who we are when we play our best. And so if we get too emotional too early, then we're not going to have enough juice in the second half.
That's a good point.
And it's a 4-quarter game, and so it's not about celebrating a play in the first quarter. It's about, like, let's be consistent. Let's be, emotionally locked in for 4 quarters, and then play our best and figure out where we are. Because the as much as we want to win this game, our goal for the season is not to beat Etowah. Our goal for the season is to figure out, like, what our best football team looks like, and can we make it to the playoffs. And so I think making sure that the main thing stays the main thing in a rivalry game like this, and making sure that you don't let your emotions control you early in the game, so you have enough to finish the game.
Yeah, that's right. Let's talk about Etowah a little bit now that you've got to look at them, now that you're getting to do some install stuff on them. What have you seen from Etowah? I think they're a much better team than the record shows.
I do too.
It is what it is, but sometimes the ball don't bounce your way. But what have you seen from them?
Well, I think the number one thing that always jumps off the tape as soon as you turn it on is they're a physical, tough bunch. I think up front, like, when you watch them play people up front, like, their offensive line, like, they're going to get after. They're going to play with low pad level. They're going to be flat back. Everybody that touches the ball is going to run it hard. Like, you're going to have to tackle them. Like, they're not going to fall. They're not going to slip. Like, they're tough runners. They're tough runners with the ball in their hand. They're going to try to, very similar to kind of what Hope's Bluff did to us. Like, they're going to kind of try to shorten the game, it looks like, and then limit other people's offensive possessions, and try to get you to the second half, and then try to lean on you a little bit, because that's what they have been good at through the season. I think they are similar to us, where offensively, when you got to consistently put together 8, 10, 12 play drives, and you're playing quality opponents, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to score. It just is what it is, And we're kind of in the same boat that they're in. So it'll be a similar look. We do some different things, but right now, like, it looks like the deficiencies for both of us on offense is the same. Like, we can't create enough explosive plays. We got to put together literally 10 play drives, 12 play drives to score touchdowns. And so I think the key is going to be, like, who can create the most explosive plays and the big chunk plays to try to shorten drives, and then ultimately score touchdowns when you get in the red zone when you have that chance.
Next question I got for you, Coach. Their offense, they've moved to like a 32 personnel sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, they lived a heavy jumbo. Talk about the pressures that can put on a defense, especially like you said, if they can get up on you. I mean, they went to the half with the team that's represented 4A North, 14-14 this
That's
year.
right.
So that lets you know that they're, they got some guys that can play. Talk about the pressures that kind of offense can put on a defense.
Well, I think not only that, like the pressure that puts on you to make sure that you don't have bad field position. Like if you give that type of offense a short field, they're tough to deal with. Now, if you can find a way to make them drive 80, but your kickoff team's got to cover. Your punt team's got to cover. Offensively, you can't turn the ball over. You can't give them a short field. And then defensively, like you got to try to find a way to earn the right to rush the passer. Like if you can find a way to put them in third and super long, I mean, you feel okay about it. But they don't get in third and super long much. Like I ain't seen them in third and super long very, very much at all.
They stay in front of the chains.
And so like, can you find a way to create negative plays? Well, and then you can't jump out of your lane because I want to try to do too much. All right, so I got to jump out of my run fit. So and then as soon as you jump out of a run fit, they're going to bust one. Because they stay tight. They don't try to bounce anything. They don't try to do anything extra. Like their runners run. And like they are north and south, and they try to get vertical on you, and they get a hat on a hat up front, And so I think it puts a lot of pressure, obviously defensively, especially, but I think special teams wise, your cover team, offensively, like everything, all of those operations where they're about to get the football, if you give them a short field, they're going to be hard to deal with.
Yeah. No doubt. So special teams is the utmost importance.
No, absolutely.
No doubt.
Absolutely.
I understand that. Well, Coach, before we shut it down, I always like to kick it back to you. Could be anything team related.
Well, I just think the atmosphere that I think I've only had the chance to play Etowah at our place one time. And so every other time's been over there in Attala, and so our fans always represent. They're always over there. They always show up. They're always there early because it can be a hostile environment for us as soon as we get over there. I mean, that's, like you said, it's a rivalry, and we're going to get there. I'm pretty sure it's their homecoming, and so there'll be plenty of people there.
Is it really?
I'm pretty positive.
I didn't know
that. We get to put on a little dress and be the homecoming queen as we get over there and everything else. And so, I would like for our people to show up, be there early, and excited about being there, and hopefully that our guys are prepared enough and can play the right way, and we can find a way to pull out a win.
Yeah, this is a huge one, Coach. Mm-hmm. Nobody has to tell you that. I'm sure you already know.
Right. That's exactly
if you don't believe me, just ask some of the parents.
If you don't think it's a big, like we tell our kids, you don't think it's a big game, lose it and find out how big it is.
Yeah, because your community, everybody will go crazy.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Yes, sir.